Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Derived Energy here. Today we are going to take a fascinating look at the phenomenon known as death wish. Death wish. It's a term in psychiatry. It can mean a desire for self-destruction, often accompanied by feelings of depression, hopelessness, and self-reproach. The desire, often unconscious, for the death of another person, such as a parent toward whom one has unconscious hostility. It can also mean a suicidal urge, thought to drive certain people to put themselves consistently into dangerous situations. Right, let's look at some statistics. On suicide. Over 1 million people die by suicide every year. The World Health Organization estimates that it is the 13th leading cause of death worldwide, and the National Safety Council rates it 6th in the United States. It is a leading cause of death among teenagers and adults under 35. The rate of suicide is far higher in men than in women, with males worldwide 3 to 4 times more likely to kill themselves than females. There are an estimated 10 to 20 million non-fatal attempted suicides every year worldwide. Okay, that just adds a bit of context to this discussion. Right, now I just want to quote briefly from Thomas Ligotti's Conspiracy Against the Human Race. Also worthy of mention is a clique among the suicidal for whom the meaning of their act is a darker thing. Frustrated as perpetrators of an all-inclusive extermination, they would kill themselves only because killing it all is closed off to them. They hate having been delivered into a world only to be told by and by, "This way to the abattoir, ladies and gentlemen." They despise the conspiracy of lies for life almost as much as they despise themselves for being a party to it. If they could unmake the world by pushing a button, they would do so without a second thought. There is no satisfaction in a lonesome suicide, but to push that button, to depopulate this earth and arrest its rotation as well. What satisfaction, as of a job prettily done. This would be for the good of all, for even those who know nothing about the conspiracy against the human race are among its injured parties. Okay, now I'm going to quote some view poll results that I found on the internet, and it was titled, "Well, what to do with the world?" And 11 people voted we should destroy it. 11 people voted that they want to rule it, and 3 people voted that they wanted to live peacefully in it, in harmony with the rest of mankind. Now I'm going to read from the Church of Euthanasia. Man's obsessive monologue about murder, demanding death penalties for criminals and shallow tears over the untimely death of innocent children, reveals a neurotic expression of one's personal death wish. The sympathy or anger expressed at murder or unsolicited death badly masks envy, a wish to take the dead one's place. If life had been essentially a good idea, needing only time and love to perfect it, one might look to the history of the world to see signs of moral evolution, trends suggesting a decrease in man's insatiable interest in annihilation. Such is not the case. Man is mystified by destruction, sensing subliminally its primordial appeal. Yeah, I mean, we do like to watch destruction and death, in movies, and read about it in books, and even watch it on the news. It's like we're captivated by it. And continuing on, we have learned a great deal about the how of things. The why, however, eludes us, and as long as this is the case, we will have a yearning for the marvelous, the explosive event in history. This is because man sees, usually at a repressed level, that there is no why to his existence. It is a mistake that he spends endless time and energy trying to rationalize. Yeah, it's like listening to one of Professor Anton's video. When he formulates all these flowery and pretty poetic sentences that really, when you analyze them, they're just mush. Thus, the morbid law of destruction, the end of existence in object and animal, holds powerful charisma for him as he projects his own secretly desired demise onto the cataclysm. Yes, I mean it's like in Christianity, you have this rapture thing, and there's going to be like Armageddon. It's as if mankind is excited by the idea of his own destruction. It's in that. This is reading from somebody who talks about the death instinct or the death drive. It's in that moment you stare over the edge of a high cliff or stairway where there is no railing to catch you. You waver there at the top, and for a split instant, be honest now, don't you feel the thrill of dread that you might fall, you might move too close, that you might, horror of unadmittable horrors, do it almost on purpose? It's in driving your car too fast. It's in driving your car too fast to control, in the desire to skydive, in a thrill of unprotected sex with a stranger, the desire to drink too much, too quickly. It is the death drive, the instinct towards chaos. It is Thanatos, as coined by Herbert Marcuse. Ladies and gents, we all have this conflicted drive towards self-oblivion. We all consciously engage in behaviour that is not so good for us, that is self-destructive. We all wonder, why the hell am I doing this to myself, even as we do it over and over again? The simple answer is, it's a part of being human. According to Freud, human beings all have a life instinct, eros, which drives them to procreate, have survival skills, and a death drive, later coined as thanatos. The death drive compels humans to engage in risky and self-destructive acts that could lead to their own death, a desire to return to the inorganic state from which they came. This conception of an innate desire is this conception of an innate desire to self-destruction is controversial, and rightly so. People don't like the idea that people want to hurt themselves, and it seems at odds with a strong biological imperative to reproduce and help your progeny and genes survive. But I feel like the evidence for Thanatos existing is overwhelming, if only in anecdotal ways. Okay, well, I just wanted to, throw some things together on the death drive. I'm still ruminating on it. So, tell me what you think.